time that he first came to me. I had helped his father in an accident case some years before, and I was acquainted with the family in a casual way. I'll never forget as he came through my door. His eyes were like tunnels. My first thought was that he committed a crime, but then I saw it was just a passion that had moved into his body like a stranger. So what you're saying is, I don't understand. Is there a question of the law somewhere?
That's what I want to ask you.
Because there's nothing illegal about a girl falling in love with an immigrant.
Yeah, but what if the only reason is to get his papers?
First of all, you don't know that.
I see it in his eyes, Mr. Alfieri. He's laughing at her, and he's laughing at me.
Eddie, I'm a lawyer. I can only deal with what's provable. You understand that, don't you? Can you prove that?
I know what's in his mind, Mr. Alfieri.
And even if you could prove that.
Will you listen to me a minute? I'm talking about the law. My father always said he was a smart man. Will you just listen?
I'm only a lawyer, Eddie.
Will you listen? It's the law I'm talking about. A man, when he comes into the country illegal, don't it stand a reason that he's going to take every penny and put it in a sock? Because they don't know one day from another, right?
Okay.
He's spending. Records he buys, jackets, shoes. This guy ain't worried. This guy is here. So it must mean that he's got it all laid out in his mind. He's staying, right?
Well, what about?
I'm talking to you confidentially, ain't I?
Certainly.
I mean, I don't go no place but here. I don't like to say this about anybody. Even my wife didn't exactly say this.
What is it?
The guy ain't right, Mr. Alfieri.
What do you mean?
I mean, he ain't right.
I don't get you.
Did you ever get a look at him?
Not that I know of, no.
He's a blonde guy. Like platinum. You know what I mean?
No.
I mean, if you close the paper fast, you could blow him over.
Yeah, but that's not...
Now, wait a minute. I'm telling you something. He sings, see, which is... I mean, it's all right, but sometimes he hits a note, see. I mean, high. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a tenor.
I know a tenor, Mr. Alfieri. That ain't no tenor. I mean, if you came in the house, you know who was singing. You wouldn't be looking for him. You'd be looking for her.
Eddie, that's not...
Now, wait a minute. I'm telling you something. Please, Mr. Alfieri. I'm trying to bring out my thoughts here. A couple nights ago, my niece, she brings out a dress which is too small for her because she shot up like a light this last year. He takes the dress, puts it on the table, cuts it up, 1, 2, 3. He makes a new dress. I mean, he looks so sweet there, you know? Like an angel. You could have kissed him. He looks so sweet.
Eddie.
Mr. Alfieri, they're laughing at it on the piers. I'm ashamed. Paper doll, they call him, blinding man. His brother thinks he's got a sense of humor. See, which he's got, but that ain't why they're laughing. Which they're not going to come out with because they know he's my relative, and they got to see me if they make a crack, you know. But I know what they're laughing at. And when I think of that light guy laying his hands on her, I mean, it's eating me out, Mr. Alfieri, because I struggled for that girl. And now he comes in my house.
Eddie, listen. I have my own children. I understand. But the law is very specific. The law does not have anything to do with
You mean, what, the guy ain't right, Mr. Alfieri?
You have no recourse in the law, Eddie.
You mean to tell me that there's no law? Which
There's
guy?
nothing you can do. Believe me.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. There's only one legal question here.
What?
The manner in which they entered the country. But I don't think you want to do anything about that, do you?
What do you mean?
Well, they entered illegally.
Jesus, no, I wouldn't do anything about that.
So let me talk now, eh?
But Mr. Alfieri, I really can't believe what you're telling me. I mean, there must be some kind of law.
Eddie, I want you to listen to me. Sometimes God, he mixes up the people. Every man's got somebody to love. The wife, the kids. Everybody's got somebody. But sometimes there's too much of it. And it goes where it mustn't. A man works hard. He raises a child. Sometimes it's a niece. Sometimes it's a daughter. And over the years, he doesn't realize it. But there's too much love for the daughter. There's too much love for the niece. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
What do you mean I shouldn't look out for her own good?
Yes, Eddie, but that's where it has to end. The child has to grow up and go away. And the man has to learn to forget. Because, Eddie, what other way can it end?
You mean to tell me, even if he's a punk, even if he's a no-good, rotten...
There's nothing you can do.
Well, all right. Thanks. Thanks very much.
What are you going to do?
What can I do? I'm a patsy. What can a patsy do? I worked like a dog for 20 years so a punk could have her. That's what I've done. I mean, in the worst times. In the worst. When there wasn't a ship coming in the harbor, I didn't stand around looking for relief. I hustled. When there were empty piers in Brooklyn, I went to Hoboken, Staten Island, the West Side, Jersey, all over. Because I made a promise. I took out of my own mouth for that girl. I took out of my wife's mouth. I walked hungry plenty of days in this city. And now I gotta sit in my own house and look at a son of a bitch punk like that, which he came out of nowhere. I give him my house to sleep, I give him the blankets off my bed, and he takes and puts his dirty, filthy hands on her like a
She's
goddamn
a grown
thing.
woman now.
He's stealing from me.
She wants to get married. She can't marry you, can she?
What the hell are you talking about marrying me? I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I gave you my advice, Eddie. That's it.
Thanks. It's just breaking my heart, you know?
I understand, Eddie. Put it out of your mind. Can you do that?
I'll see you around.
There are times when you want to raise an alarm, but nothing has happened. I knew then and there. I could have finished this whole story that afternoon. It wasn't as though there was some great mystery to unravel. I could see where he was going, and I knew where he was going to end. I could see it all coming, step after step, like a dark figure walking down a hallway toward a certain door. And I often ask myself, why? Being an intelligent man, I was so powerless to stop him. I even went to an old woman in the neighborhood, a very wise old woman, and told her what had happened, and she only nodded and said, pray for him.